Hello, and welcome to this update on how to use Goodreads as an author. There have been a few changes recently. Understandably, they like to keep things up to date. So we wanted to go through those with you so that you'd be able to find things, because some of the things are not where you expect them to be anymore. That's the old navigation bar, and the new one is the one at the bottom. So the old one actually looks cluttered now. I used to love it. I liked the books along the top, and I thought it was really cool. But when you look at the new one, the one underneath, it just looks so much cleaner. It looks more modern. It looks more simple and easy to understand, you'd think. It is once you get used to it. So let's have a look at where these buttons lead to. So from the new navigation bar, My Books is obvious. Goodreads takes you back to the home page. Wherever you are in the site, you click Goodreads and you go back to the initial starting page. My Books will show your shelves. And if you click Browse, it brings up these options. This will look different because obviously it's got most read book this week. It's brought up non-fiction for me because I read a lot of non-fiction. So this is based on the individual user. So it will look slightly different to you, and your favourite genres will be different as well. But the recommendations on the left of the pop-up, Choice Awards, giveaways, new releases lists, news and interviews, and explore, as far as I can tell from looking at different people's accounts, that's the same for everybody. So the big one for us there is the giveaways. That's where that's hiding now, in the browse section. And lists, that used to be called Listopia. It still is, really. It's still got Listopia on the page, but the URL is goodreads.com/lists. There might be something else in between that, but that's why they've called it lists there. And on the other side, the community, you can see that this is where groups is hanging out. And obviously those are the things as well. The creative writing thing is new. We'll have a look at that later. That's quite interesting, actually. But most of the other things have been there for a while. They've just decided to categorize them and put them together here. Now, if you go across to the right-hand side of the screen where your profile picture is and click on that, you'll see that that brings up a new menu. And this is where Friends is hiding out, the category Friends. And lots of people are struggling with that because they wonder where Friends have gone, and that's where it is. And you can see that there are other things there as well. So it's easy to see your own profile as a user. It's easy to get to your author dashboard, which is great. And you can go to the other locations as well, which makes it much easier. I like my groups being there rather than having to wade through lots of other groups, so that's great. So if we go to the Friends section, you can see that you can still see the friends you have, and you can edit those, put them to top friends or wherever you want them. And you can still find your friends from your social media or email accounts. And on the top right, you can see that there's an Add Friends facility. So you don't only have to go from your social media or email, because people have been asking me about that. They thought that was the only way. It's not. But the Add Friends section will, it brings up the email and social, but this is the key thing: view friends of friends. So you can still go to see who friends of friends are and add them there. And that's really one of the ways that people make friends on Goodreads over time, is through friends of friends. So it's great that that's still there. I'm glad they haven't removed that. The new releases section is interesting because it's mainly traditionally published books that seem to be coming up the most, but Goodreads do say it's for anyone. It's for indies as well. And you can see that there's a My Authors option. That's wonderful for us as authors, because hopefully we will build up relationships with our readers that will which will have them wanting to look for us in this section to see if we've got new releases. And you can, it says new releases for March 2016. You can go backwards in time to see what the new releases were last month. I like that facility. That's really good. Our readers can elect to receive emails letting them know about new releases generally or new releases just from their favourite authors. Again, that is brilliant for us. And that's something we can encourage if you're building an email list, if you're building a relationship on social media. You can mention that you're working on a new book, and if they follow you on Goodreads, they can elect to get emails about that. So that's good. The creative writing section I'm finding fascinating. It's basically a lot of fan fiction. So this is wonderful for users who aren't authors to have a go at writing, to put it out there, to get some feedback on it. And from what I've seen, the feedback is lovely. It's very supportive and friendly. And that's not what you, I hesitate to say this, but that's not what you always expect from Goodreads, because traditionally Goodreads ratings and reviews are slightly more harsh than those on Amazon. You don't get the ridiculous reviews or you don't tend to on Goodreads that you might on Amazon, because Amazon reviews will sometimes give an author a 1-star, a 1-star review because the book didn't arrive on time or it was damaged. And they're actually criticizing Amazon, not the book, which is very unfair. Amazon should remove those. But you don't get that obviously on Goodreads, because Goodreads don't sell books. So the reason it is ever so slightly more harsh than Amazon is that it's full of passionate readers. They are very, very passionate about their books and also about their authors. So they feel that they can be a little bit more critical because they are very used to reading it. It's just one of the downsides of Goodreads, but it's one that we can absorb because the reviews that we do get on Goodreads are very in-depth, and they're very useful for guiding readers who don't know if they will like our book or not. A Goodreads review or reviews will give them a good idea of whether they will like it or not. So if we have some bad, as it were, reviews on Goodreads, that's okay, because it will put off people who probably won't like our book. So that's fine. So that was an aside. Back to the creative writing section. This is a great opportunity in particular for novelists, for fiction authors, to put some of your work in this section for free. Not doing anything vaguely salesy, just putting it out there. This is a way that people could find you without having to risk purchasing a book. But once they find you and like you, they probably will purchase your book. So this is a fantastic opportunity. Now, there is a non-fiction section as well. So if you're non-fiction, you could put some non-fiction work there. I'm going to try it because I do write in non-fiction as well, so I'm going to give it a go and I'll report back. Goodreads have a page on their site where they make recommendations for the things that they encourage authors to do. So they like us to write a blog on Goodreads or import our own blog, post book giveaways, fill out our author profile in full, which is a fantastic opportunity. We can put all sorts on there. Use status updates to keep readers engaged between books. Shelve our books we're reading and write reviews. Again, just that engagement in the site. And join relevant groups and chat to others. So they want us on there. They're not trying to get rid of us. They want our participation, which is wonderful. If you would like help in further navigating Goodreads, establishing a wonderful profile and putting yourself out there for potential readers, you can find it in my book, Goodreads for Authors, which is available on Amazon in print, digital and audiobook formats, or from the Goodreads for Authors book promotion and marketing course that I created with the wonderful book expert Kathy Presland, and that's available on Udemy. So that's a very interactive course. You can ask questions, get feedback, and we're in the process actually of updating that at the moment. So we'll be giving students an opportunity to take part in those updates. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I hope to see you on Goodreads.